Доброго времени суток, дорогие друзья, с вами ИНФУ. Сегодня будем проходить Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain. Буду делать только побочки и слушать кассеты. Кассеты нужно прослушать для того, чтобы открылась секретная миссия. Ну и побочки тоже на что-то там влияют. Космический отшельник, привет.
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched. Please select a landing heading to Afghanistan. Deploying.
О, костюм-то не сменил. Хотя вот я в этом паразитическом костюме попробую в режиме невидимки подобраться к бывшему члену ГБ.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Be careful down there, boss.
Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Дышит. Так, ну давай, попробуем. Ну, он где-то поверху гуляет. Как-нибудь к нему подобраться. Что-то быстро кончилось.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Clouds approaching.
Понятно.
Enemy present. The map has been updated.
Он в тумане? Понятно. Не забыл. Это он особый.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Кто-то спалил. Вставай. Так, я ж кассеты хотел слушать. Давай не отвлекаться.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base. You've seen everything we've got on the outbreak. What's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation. And judging from this casualty list,
Я понял, почему система
it
ПТ
is
качается быстро.
Congo strain, meaning a breed of parasite
Это не то, что вообще у меня было.
upon detecting
Вот у меня.
pronunciation
Чё?
specific to Kikongo.
So our Kikongo-speaking staff are at risk.
Quite so.
He's right. All the victims do speak Kikongo.
So they can survive if they just use another language.
There is no guarantee. You're only dealing with the Kikongo strain. Other language strains may be present. You well know he was teaching them languages from all over the world.
The Devil's House. Nzoya Badia Bulu.
There is no way to know how many strains he has at his disposal.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic? You mentioned using microbes.
Use this. A type of Wolbachia. Introduced to a sample of the parasite.
Wolbachia.
A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female and preventing copulation. You must cultivate more. What have you done with the infected bodies?
Cremated to stop the spread of infection. But we did keep a few for study.
Good. Take this sample grind it to a pulp and introduce it into the larvae now nesting in the dead. The Wolbachia will multiply rapidly within those larvae. They're soldiers, not some petri dish. Conventional cultivation methods will take too long. Extract the Wolbachia from those larvae.
Терялся куда-то.
Vaccinate your men.
Он может здесь находиться?
Congo
Вполне.
speakers first. This is the fastest, surest way.
Но не
No
среди
one is to speak a word of Kikongo
них.
until the Wolbachia are safely inside them. I will instruct your medical staff in detail on site. You have the
Может, выше заполз?
facilities, yes, but do not worry. I made a pact with your Peterolone on the honor of the Dene. I speak no lies.
Keep an eye on him. Will do. Follow me. I'll take you to the medical team.
Now, we must wait for the Wolbachia to multiply in the larvae.
How is the disease transmitted? It's carried by insects or rodents, then.
There is no intermediate host.
So,
The vocal cord parasites lay their eggs in the larynx of the host. Most hatch and migrate to the lungs, but some are transported to the mouth through ciliary movement, mixing in with saliva. Droplet transmission.
sneezing, coughing, any food or water containing infected saliva. It would spread fast.
Indeed. And when the larvae migrate to the lungs, symptoms can resemble the early stages of a cold, making it easy to infect others.
Meaning a simple conversation would be enough to pass it on.
All right, so what happens after the larvae migrate to the lungs? It is as I said before. They mature by feeding on alveolar tissue. It is only then that noticeable symptoms appear in the host.
And by that point, it's too late. He's infected everyone else. It's one hell of a weapon you've created.
That is what Blaga Anna wanted. Something that would spread easily. In truth, he is not the reason. But we will discuss that another time.
The Wolbachia have multiplied. We're preparing to extract them and begin vaccinating. But is this really the only way? Sure, it'll prevent infection, but the cost?
You would rather remove their vocal cords?
No. Tactical communication's a linchpin of what we do.
What if we were to ban the use of Kikongo?
Insufficient. First, there's no guarantee that only the Kikongo strain is here. Second, there is the matter of how the parasites lay their eggs. Before they can copulate, they must be exposed to the pronunciation of a specific language for a period of time, like a container filling with water. But the duration between when the container is full and when the copulation actually begins varies from case to case. In other words, even if the infected stop speaking as a countermeasure, it may already be too late. The only true solution is to prevent
Цена на него не работает.
Wolbachia, or by
Мог бы сюда уйти?
removing
Да, мог.
the affected tissue.
Do any anti-parasitics work?
It sounds as though you have already tried.
Yeah. We tried every one there is, and nothing.
I have yet to find a medicine that can remove the parasites. At best, it temporarily covers their ears,
Why is that?
because the parasites are companions to us. To remove them inevitably harms the host.
Companions.
More than you think. And this is why the human immune system cannot eliminate them.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
И вот и где он был? Ну, он, по крайней мере, я его вижу.
Guard post captured.
We've inoculated the staff with Walbachia to keep them from becoming symptomatic.
That should also contain the infection.
How did this happen in the first place?
It has to have been a Cypher spy within our ranks.
If this is so, then why the Kakongo strain? If their intent was to wipe you out,
Skullface said the remaining English parasite was close to the boss. If this latest strain was his doing, he wouldn't have tipped his hand.
it is possible someone brought eggs onto the base without knowing. Stuck to their shoes, clothing.
Well, that makes the most sense to me.
Then where did the eggs come from?
You mentioned that your boss visited Nzoya Badiopulu.
Sure, but his gear's disinfected immediately upon return.
Then he was not the carrier.
And not just the boss. All staff dispatched to high-risk regions were quarantined on the flight back. When the symptoms first appeared, we checked and disinfected all equipment used up to that point. Any and all prisoners, soldiers, materials, and animals extracted during missions were also quarantined.
So, that just leaves...
I have seen children around here. Where are they from?
All over. Some were being held hostage at a mine. Then there were the troublemakers at Bwala Yamasa.
Bwala Yamasa.
Yeah.
They're close. Their things.
Нихуя, он здесь стоял, и я его не заметил.
They're just kids.
Короче, он так и так палит.
And besides, not one
Потому
of
что он
them
тоже умеет в невидимку
The
превращаться.
parasites don't infect
Видимо, он
pubescent hosts.
не такой слепой, как я.
Their vocal cords are not fully developed.
Well, if infection doesn't occur in children...
It is possible they carried eggs on their clothes, and the infection spread from them.
check the...
Да выруби ты его нахуй.
I doubt there is any trace left by now.
But if there is, some of those kids must be close to hitting puberty. How could we have missed this?
The name Bwala Yamasa got quite a reaction from you. I'm guessing the Kakongo strain was released in that village.
Cypher used that region to experiment with vocal cord parasite transmission. The Kakongo strain. The settlements around the refinery upstream of Bwala Yamasa were the proving grounds.
Для всех паразитов
They
на
would
какого-то типа
infect one
потратил,
villager
которого можно было, в принципе, пометить
transmission speed. Dangerous work.
и снять
They
авиаударом.
failed to contain the infection. It would slip into the surrounding regions.
At which point the world found out about the parasites, making them useless as a weapon. Incredible they'd risk such a thing.
The test site was densely populated too. A terrible place for such experiments. No doubt, they thought burning everything would wipe away all traces. The settlements were covered in oil anyway. Who would wonder if one day they caught fire?
Body departing
And
area
so
of
it did.
operations.
They burned it all. Living and dead.
Those remains.
But they miscalculated. Transmission speed was far faster than anticipated. It may have been the temperature, or hygiene standards, or perhaps the parasites reacted quickly to Kikongo. Whatever the reason, nearly all villages were swiftly infected, and the settlements reduced to mounds of
The map
corpses,
has been updated.
making make matters worse, the dry season was ending. When it came time to burn the village, the Moneni River had swelled. Many of the bodies were waterlogged.
Вообще не он.
Meaning they didn't burn completely.
Или он?
The corpses still contained viable eggs.
Да, он.
The larvae washed downstream. The people downstream drank that water.
That marked the end for Bwala Yamasa.
I learned all of this at the mansion. I warned him of the risk of eggs getting out.
And?
We are prepared for any eventuality.
I get it. Putting the oil field back online. The oil leaks, saner. They plan to pollute the river. Prevent the spread of infection.
But the oil flow was stopped. And downstream, the people of Masa village started using the water
Просто
again.
не добраться.
The PF soldiers deployed at the village were locals, spoke Kikongo. They were infected, and the kids survived.
I've heard enough.
And who stopped the flow of oil?
Don't.
We did.
That confirms it. The source of the Kikongo strain infection
Попробуй.
was Masa village. And the children brought it here. It is no one's fault. There is no blame to be cast.
The parasites, they were tested in other regions?
Their physiology requires that they be tested under varied conditions. Another test site was in Afghanistan.
So it was the parasites there.
Both the Pashto and Tajik languages are spoken in the mountains of Afghanistan, and population density is low. Ideal testing grounds for how accurately the parasites target only the specified language. It is also relatively easy to prevent the spread of infection.
And the results?
The first test, I am told, was a success. Once the Pashtun Mujahideen were infected with the Pashto strain, they were all but wiped out.
The Hamid fighters at Smasei Fort.
It was doubly successful. No Tajik Mujahideen or Soviet soldiers became symptomatic.
It's proved to be effective. What about the second test?
Also supposedly a success. The Pashtun village was the target. However, the original aim was to obtain samples of the infected. In this, they failed.
And the village?
The Soviets enacted a standard scorched earth operation.
That must have been the village where Malak lived, before being held captive at La Marjate Palace.
Having had no time to think on it, the details shared with me may have been false. They are madmen who would do anything to cover up the truth.
They certainly seem to like tossing their problems in the fire.
As a boy, Skullface's life went up in flames. Perhaps that is what fuels his fixation with fire.
Your Wolbachia stopped the infection all right, but I still don't get it. How can a few bacteria change males to females? I know they're only bugs, but
it is not such a rare thing in the natural world. Many insects and nematodes are infected with Wolbachia.
But why?
They nest in the cytoplasm of the host, even in the egg cells, with the result that the offspring are born infected.
Mother-to-child transmission.
However, Wolbachia cannot nest in sperm because they do not have cytoplasm. So even a successful infection in other males ends after a single generation. This means the Wolbachia resort to maximizing the population of infected females.
Sounds like an ethnic
Комментарии
cleansing campaign.
потерялись. Субтитры.
Scale.
Gender change from male to female is their survival tactic.
So more females means more weapons. Very so it can keep thriving in the following generations.
But the parasites in a human host are supposed to be a mating pair. If there's no male, there'll be no offspring at all. It's killing itself.
Slow down. This tactic is intended for environments where a single male can copulate with multiple females. Originally, the Wolbachia did not infect the vocal cord parasites. I created a mutated strain, modifying the Wolbachia so that it could infect monogamous pairs.
Хуя с миномета.
Wolbachia's
Или снайпер.
greatest multiplying tactic, the male-to-female change, worked against itself in the monogamous parasite. Just as you said. Then, I performed repeated selection of Wolbachia strains until I achieved 100% certainty of male-to-female conversion.
Creating female-female pairs, unable to reproduce.
And you say the Wolbachia affects the host of the host, that is, us, cutting off our means to reproduce?
It is almost certain. Of course, we will not turn female. After all, mammals possess no natural gender-changing function. But some Wolbachia strains can cause cytoplasmic incompatibility in the host.
Is that some cell deformity?
Put simply, it means the altered sperm of infected males kill the female's egg on contact.
And that's happened to us?
Yes. And yet, what occurs in humans is not just simple CI. To date, there are no cases of Wolbachia affecting humans. The fact that this strain causes this effect, is it the vocal cord parasite's affinity with humans? I do not know enough to say for sure.
So the parasite warps the host. Reminds me of what Skullface said.
It is the way of all organisms to create their own optimal environment. Just look at you and this base. Organisms that cannot do this are doomed to extinction. The difference with parasites is that their environment is another organism. That creates a connection between life and life.
Analysis complete.
Parasitism, symbiosis, or death. In this way, the host too is challenged to adapt.
So what were they doing at Nzoya Badia Baloo? That facility with all the people laid out in rows?
The abandoned factory Shibani was held in.
It is precisely as you guessed. Black Anna was coding languages into the vocal cord parasites. They infected the subjects with the parasites, then made an incision in the throat to expose the vocal cords. That allowed them to play recordings of a desired language directly to the parasites.
And the parasites learn the languages that way. That's some teaching method. I just don't get how a bunch of bugs had the brain power for it.
They don't. Do not judge them by human standards. They do not learn as a function of intellect.
Then how do they do it?
What language the parasites react to is coded into their genes. You could expose the Japanese strain to English for years, and it would never learn the language and react to it. Pronunciation, rhythm, and structure are different. But what about, say, Spanish and Portuguese? Linguistically, the two are very close.
Yeah, they're both Ibero-Romance languages.
Even so, a Spanish language mating pair exists. Portuguese will not copulate. Only only when they hear Spanish. Only then. And the majority of their offspring will be the same.
So it's a literal case of a mother tongue. But if that's so, I don't see how the different strains can be created in the first place.
Well, among the many thousands of offspring, there may be just a few that react to Portuguese.
You're talking about mutations.
Correct. Playing the tapes helps to identify the mutant strains. Those specimens are then isolated and bred with one another. From their children, specimens that react more strongly to Portuguese can again be selected and bred.
Side update updated. Extraction arrived at mother base.
Boss, you there? We have a problem. The staff have found out everything that Emmerich's been up to. They're right on the edge. I need you to intervene before things get out of control. Get back to Mother Base ASAP.
Я думаю, что это за фигня?
Nine years ago, this man acted as accomplice to the attack on Mother Base. He then provided support to Skullface. Conspiring with Eli, he repaired Sahelanthropus in secret. His research materials caused the leak at the quarantine facility, which in turn caused the Walbachia mutation, letting the parasites off their chains. We lost a lot of good men. He also stands accused of murdering one of his own family, hiding the body.
I haven't killed anyone. The rest is all wrong.
Обычные щи,
The inspection was supposed to
Уставшие.
help everyone. I sacrificed myself for
Скучные.
my companions just as much as any of you.
но не
Why
грустные.
won't you believe me?
The prosecution calls a witness.
Саня, здорово.
Strangelove's gravestone. Haunted by her phantom.
It's just a machine.
Hьюi! Damn it, Hьюi! Open it now! Please! Let me out! Kill me! Kill me!
It recorded it all. Everything. Everything you did living together.
How could a machine?
You forced your own son into the cockpit of a Metal Gear, a test subject.
How?
His mother had to hide him away, and for that you locked her in that coffin.
No! She did it herself. It was suicide. And even if I did, what right do you have?
Вряд ли ты за Стюи будешь переживать.
You to tell us everything you've done. Everything
Но в целом, да, ты схапанул спойлеров. Так-то он
years ago.
такой персонаж.
In return for Cypher's guarantee.
В один момент ты думаешь, что он твой союзник, в другой момент, что вроде нормальный типок, а потом ты узнаешь, что он пидор конченый.
What's happened since you arrived here?
Please.
Guilty! All counts.
Но это далеко не центральный персонаж, так что ничего страшного. Это вот если ты бы пришел бы на прошлый стрим, ты бы ебать бы хапанул спойлера жесткого. Стюи, бля, Хьюи.
We exist outside the law. What should we do, boss? Just give the order. We'll handle the rest. Prepare a life raft. Big enough for one. Food and water, too.
Boss,
He's leaving.
he's responsible for all of this! Think of all the men! He didn't lose a damn thing! This is the enemy! And he's here on his knees!
Us. You are right, he is not one of us. But we are not responsible to judge an enemy. He leaves Mother Base, and that'll be the end of it.
Get back! Don't touch me! I'm innocent! You're the murderers! Snake! You should be in this boat! There'd have been no inspection if it weren't for your precious nuke! I risked my life trying to save you all! How can you do this? Am I the only sane one here? It's not my fault!
Look, you can't discard your phantoms forever, Doctor.
Son of a bitch will make it, you know. I can see it now. In no time, he'll be telling tales about the black-hearted Diamond Dogs. The Shining White Knight, blabbering on about our injustice, hiding behind his fool's idea of morality. And all the other fools will stand around, nodding with every word he says.
No. One day he'll see through the lies he's built up. Realize what kind of man he really is. What goes around comes around. You can't run from yourself forever.
Семь кассет Хьюи. Или 7-я кассета, что-то не понял. Их и так там 83. Слушать, не переслушать.
Side ops list.
Boss, maybe you realize by now, but
Mission list
there's no
updated.
other way to say it. Quiet's gone.
Молчунья пропала.
Camo stunt and stowed away on a departing chopper. After pinpointing which she took, we figured out her destination. Afghanistan. Get after her. Only you can do this. Boss, I told you this would happen. I wish I could say good riddance. But Quiet knows too much about us. We can't just leave her out there. Remember what you told me when she first got here. One of these days, we're gonna have to kill her. When the time comes, I'll pull the trigger. I'd say that time has come.
Молчунья урвала. Так, это у нас
Please
основная миссия. 44, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. 7 миссий открыто. Да? 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. 45 нету. Так, 45-ю надо открывать. По сути, все. Все открыто, кроме одной миссии. Или чтобы открыть, надо все кассеты прослушать. И побочки некоторые выполнить. Либо даже не надо выполнять побочки, все уже выполнено, что надо. Остались не обязательные. Так. У меня почему-то стрим на В Рутубе не работает. Что-то из гудгейма хуёвый рестрим получается. Видимо, Рутуб придется отсечь. Либо приложение просто не работает. Сейчас вот гляну. Да нет. Стрима просто нет. Это, видать, в Рутубе дело, потому что на YouTube с гудгейма идет. Развелось тубов. YouTube, Рутуб, YouTube. Что еще есть на туб? Ну как сказать, идет. Статистика типа есть, а по факту картинки нету. Нет, идет. Видимо, было переподключение. Побочные задания, желтые. Это вот как раз таки с Молчуньей связано, наверное. Захват Молчунья. Нет, давай-ка я продолжу выполнять обычные белые побочки, как и хотел. Уничтожение тяжелой пехоты. Близко, да, наверное, слишком? Нормально. Выбор напарника. Давай, дедок. Так, нет, давай-ка обычно. Так, вижу, паразитов нету, паразиты тоже надо захватывать. Бордовня это не поменял. всего 3 штуки. Давай испытаем. Реально флутон.
The R&D team's going to take over Emmerich's work. He may be gone, but it won't affect us one bit. We'll be able to deliver
Надо внимательно читать.
You can depend on that. One other thing. I'm tracking his whereabouts. Nothing to report at the moment, though.
Let it go. He's gone. The guy's gone.
I know. I just want to be sure. Not like I'm losing sleep over this son of a bitch.
Open this thing! Hьюi! Damn it, Hьюi! Open it now! Please! Let me out! Kill me!
If only I'd tried to get out sooner. Perhaps I'd have made it. Why didn't I stop the hatch from closing? Even if it meant losing an arm.
10 минут кассета, жесть какая.
distant. But you can hear me, can't you, Joy? I know you can. We're recording this. Deep down, some memory board he'll never find. Duplicating it. Buried under heaps of meaningless code.
Extraction arrived at database.
Anyway, I guess I can say what needs to be said. I can still do that much. Talk to you. Even if I can't face you, even if there's a heaven, even if you're waiting there, I don't deserve to see you again. I don't deserve to love you. I signed up for Zero's plan. Even now that he's halfway to dead, his plan lives on, leeching away at the wall. And it took your strength to make it happen. In using you, I put the world in his palm, once and for all. Zero, or whoever it is who's taken its name. They found me after the Caribbean. They made me simulate his will, so that even after the body was gone, that will would keep the world.
Спасибо за фоллоу.
I had no choice. They dredged Laru Kursibolka, gobbled up your phantom, forced me to revive and modify you. Bring you back. In the end, I sold your will to him. Now this heart is just one big shell. A husk. Your phantom's no longer here. As for me, everything I touched was to ashes. I could never make anyone happy. Now I'll never see my son again. But at least Hal's free from his father's hands. Me, Sweet child, can you imagine?
И субтитры с аудиокассет не прерывают своими переговорами. Сука, вот есть док. Меня газ заклинило.
Baseless theories. Of course, I couldn't see through the dream. The false you I created. I only wanted to pass your will on to the next generation.
Смысла не было в объезде.
Zero took it away. And now I haven't just lost you.
Короче, пойдем пешком.
I've lost my... Oh, Hal, can you forgive the mother who couldn't protect you? The one who let them take it all away from us. No. There's still hope. You, the one he took away. He'll never break your will. The will to make this world the way you saw it could be. I buried code, just to be sure. Inside of you, there is an egg. And when someone finds it, when they crack it, there'll be nothing left to stop you. The world you envisioned will.
Недоработанный металл пропустил.
So what were they doing in that facility with all the people laid out in rows? The abandoned factory Shivani was held in.
It is precisely as you guessed.
You mentioned that what language the parasites respond to is hard-coded into their genes, and that they don't have the brain power to actually learn a language. But then you say that the larvae at Nzoyabadiabulu were learning the languages in the egg. Your story doesn't add up.
Your country is home to a unique songbird. The Japanese bush warbler.
Sure, what of it?
What a beautiful call it has. But no bush warbler can sing it perfectly at the start. As chicks, they can barely chirp at all. They must learn from their parents and other adult birds. Only then can they sing properly and attract females. So naturally, there are individual differences in each bird's call. Though they start on the same footing, each bird is influenced by its teachers.
And the parasites are the same?
Like the birds, the parasites have a genetic predisposition towards a particular language. But while in the egg, the larvae's ears are tweaked by listening to the voice of the host. This tweaking ensures that the grown parasites will react better to the host's speech pattern.
Why would they have an ability like that?
Well, there are distinct regional differences within even the same language. Rare is the language that has no unique dialects. Yes, learning the host's speech pattern before hatching attunes the larvae to whatever twist of pronunciation it will encounter. This adaptive ability is what makes them so formidable.
I see. So a language requires selective breeding, but the parasites can learn dialects by themselves.
Of course, having the egg-stage larvae listen to the tapes in the factory was not meant to teach them. It was more important to use that trait of theirs to identify the mutated strains. As I mentioned earlier,
is that really accurate enough to use as a weapon? You could wipe out a neighboring ethnic group by accident if their pronunciation is too close.
What you say is true. In that sense, they are imperfect as ethnic cleansers. But for his purposes, they are good enough. His objective was not to exterminate any one ethnic group, but to render the world's lingua franca, English, inert.
About this OKB-0 Emmerich was talking about. Its location and features match the citadel in the mountains northeast of the Soviet base camp. Built during the time of Alexander the Great, it was left in ruins following one of Genghis Khan's campaigns. Its occupants changed time and again due to war, and it was expanded on more than one occasion. Ultimately, it fell into the hands of the Soviet philosophers. The Soviet army was using it as the headquarters of its Afghan invasion force. But it would seem that Skullface's connections with the philosophers gave him license to develop Sahelanthropus there. And that's what Emmerich was doing at the place, before he got the axe. But OKB is a designation the Soviets use for weapon design bureaus. There's no way they'd have one of those in Afghanistan. And, in principle, the numbers that follow OKB are always integers above 1. There is no 0. Perhaps this was a secret facility of the Soviet and Chinese philosophers dating back prior to World War II. Though it's more likely Skullface just picked a fake name that more or less fit the Soviets' pattern. He doesn't go there often, but he sure as hell won't miss this. They use the heliport on top of the tower for his visits. Start by heading for the heliport. Then wait for your chance to make contact with Skullface.
It seems Sahelanthropus's armor is made from depleted uranium. That offers some serious protection. The US military is planning on using it for its main battle tanks, too. Maybe that's where Emmerich got the technology.
Uranium? They're using nuclear fuel for armor now?
No. What they use for nuclear fuel is uranium-235, which is extracted from natural uranium. Depleted uranium is a byproduct of that process. Sort of like the leftovers, I guess. The garbage. Uranium-235 makes up 0.72% of natural uranium, whereas depleted uranium contains only 0.2%.
What are the benefits of using it for armor?
It's a pretty short list. Uranium's a heavy metal, like lead, meaning it can hold a greater amount of kinetic energy. But it also boasts a hardness closer to tungsten. That makes it an ideal material to use for, say, armor-piercing ammunition penetrators. But it's not the best choice for armor. Its volume is less than that of ceramics, but for an equal weight, you could end up with less protection.
So why use it then?
According to Emmerich, it came down to him being unable to source ceramics technology from a manufacturer. Plus, given that it's an upright walking vehicle, he wanted to reduce the bulk of certain areas. Despite all that, depleted uranium still makes for some tough armor, and Emmerich says it's been proven in live fire tests. It stops most Soviet tank shells.
Какой Сахалантроп-то
Please select a landing zone. The support helicopter requested.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Вернуть Молчунью надо будет пройти 11-ю миссию 7 раз. Будем пробовать. Только сначала нужно ее потерять. Но я не планировал сюжетные миссии сейчас выполнять. Хотя я же сейчас побочкой делаю. А ее возвращение как раз таки побочки. Но это не 45-я миссия. Захват Молчуньи это 150-я. А, и она в плену. Понял.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Side ops list.
Boss, your heroic deeds appear to have earned the respect of other PFs. Now you'll be able to infiltrate rival PFs' FOBs without having to worry about their nuclear deterrent. Go get one over on these guys who've escaped retaliation thanks to their nukes.
А у нас есть нюкс? Или снюс хотя бы? Так, что там? Есть что разработать? Интересно. Странное устройство. Я хз, надо оно мне, не надо? О, ебать, дорогое. На миссию не взять. Нахуя мне надо?
Expansion complete. Please specify a project.
Снайпер Вульф.
Please specify a project.
4 ляма, ну потратить надо, потому что тут лимит 5 лямов. А в чё вот вкинуть, я даже хуй его знает. Все уже есть. Что надо было? Ну, вот этот прикол интересный, наверное, да? Нихера сервал. Стоит-то сколько? Давай охранные бахнем.
Please specify a project.
Ну вот, я вот не знаю. Высокочувствительный прибор ночного видения, позволяющий лучше контролировать обстановку в условиях низкой освещенности. После модификации специалистами еды он также позволяет обнаружить противников, маскирующих в дыму. Антитрак. Что это такое? 5 дней, ёбаный в рот. Ну все. 600 тысяч, нормально. В принципе, я еще и могу что-то продать, если ресурсы переполнены. Но таких нету, да? Травка может переполниться. Паразит. Паразитов нету. Ядерное оружие.
Please select a mission. Unit dispatched.
Так, погнали.
Please select a land heading to Central Africa. Heading to Central
В Африку.
Africa.
Оборудование. Так, нет, пойдем. Ладно, сделаю эту миссию. Молчунью вытащим. Без нее-то как-то не очень.
Emmerich didn't go with depleted uranium for Sahelanthropus's armor because of its strength.
He had nukes in mind.
Exactly. It's meant to use its body as the fuel component for a nuclear weapon. Sahelanthropus uses built-in uranium enrichment archaea to melt its own body and extract uranium-235 from the depleted uranium in its armor. Those archaea perform the enrichment in an extremely short time. The concentration jumps by a factor of several hundred, from 0.2% to over 90%. The end result being highly enriched weapons-grade uranium. Sahelanthropus's body itself becomes a nuclear bomb. Emmerich says if it were to self-destruct, the nuclear yield would be somewhere in the region of 15 kilotons. Since you need about 50 kilograms of highly enriched uranium to trigger a nuclear reaction, that would mean Sahelanthropus contains something like 23 tons of depleted uranium.
That's not very much.
No, it isn't. That's about what you'd expect to find in a main battle tank's armor. The point is, it can be transported anywhere, even use its conventional weaponry on the battlefield, and the international community will never suspect a thing. I just received word from the R&D team and the transport team out of Afghanistan. They finished installing Sahelanthropus on the base. It's ours now.
All right. Don't let any of the staff touch that thing. Especially Emmerich.
Of course. That guy's crush on Sahelanthropus is beyond a joke. Guess he really wants to see his tech stand on its own two legs this time.
That's not gonna happen.
I know it. So you've got no plans to make it operational again?
Damn right.
Boss, I want to hear it straight from you.
Hear what?
What the hell do you want with that thing? The drive is busted. It's not like it has a nuke on board. Even if the metallic archaea could turn it into a nuclear weapon, all it could do is self-destruct. Sahelanthropus just isn't a weapon anymore. It'll draw unwanted attention without even being a deterrent.
I know.
The weapon's development strut sank 2 feet under that thing's wake. That's 1 year's drop in a single night. We've started on reinforcing the strut, but there's no guarantee it'll hold up if a storm hits.
I know that too.
Boss, why keep it?
It's a mark. Us diamond dogs, we don't have a country to call home. That means we have no past, nothing to prove that we lived. Every one of us threw it all away when we came here. Sahelanthropus is a symbol to show that the likes of us brought at least one crisis to its end.
A mark in history. So we can't just fade away.
It's of no practical use to us. But we still need it.
A symbol of what we've done. I'm glad I sounded you out on this. Snake, on behalf of all of us, I want to thank you.
I don't need gratitude. I need security. Keep Emmerich away from that thing.
Roger that.
Code Talker. What are the metallic archaea?
Volcanic craters spewing sulfur. Water hot enough to boil your skin off. Ocean depths of 800 plus atmospheres. Wastelands radioactive enough to kill you where you stand. There are groups of organisms that survive this fight. No, because of living in such environments.
I've heard about that. Extremo something.
Extremophiles. By selecting certain species, then subculturing and repeatedly modifying them, I created a metallic offspring of pure archaea. They subsist on metals rather than organic matter.
And some of them even consume uranium?
Yes. Uranium enrichment archaea metabolize only uranium-235. As a result, They produce weapons-grade enriched uranium.
How is that possible?
Consider how plants fractionate carbon isotopes when they conduct photosynthesis. Nature possesses abilities beyond our imagination.
So, it was Archaea that brought down your chopper?
Corrosive Archaea, yes. They oxidize metals, feeding off the energy in the electrons they receive. What became of the wreckage?
We had the R&D team retrieve samples for study in airtight plastic containers, of course.
Prudent. We shall extract Archaea from it in good time. They should help you fight back against Black Anna.
Any chance we could start now? It doesn't have to be a lot. I might just have another use for them.
If it's only a small amount you need.
That's fine. I'll get the R&D team to assist. Let's go.
South Africa was previously suspected of developing nuclear weapons. It already had a conspicuous presence at the UN because of apartheid and its armed expansionism. But when neighboring Angola and Mozambique became socialist countries in '74, South Africa felt hounded into a corner. So it accelerated its nuclear program to protect itself. 3 years later, the Soviets discovered a test facility. And 2 years after that, an American satellite observed a flash in the southern Indian Ocean. It said this was South Africa conducting a nuclear test with the help of a certain ally. Skullface used the situation in South Africa to get this ally to lend a hand. They both wanted nukes, so it was a mutually beneficial relationship. On the surface, anyway.
I figure South Africa started getting serious about nuclear weapons production in '75. In '74, the government was still able to get by with bluffing that it had a nuclear arsenal. But the year after, word spread that an independent armed group in the Caribbean was crushed by Cypher for possessing a WMD. That's right, boss. What happened to you and your men was the reason South Africa decided to push ahead with nuclear development. A force independent of any country getting its hands on a nuke. That was a threat to the existence of countries everywhere. It wasn't just South Africa. Your presence pushed a lot of countries to get nukes. The world was scared of you. You were a threat to more than just the Cold War. If nations are gears in a machine, you had the power to smash them loose and watch the whole world to a halt.
Extraction arrived at the mother base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at mother base. Guard post captured. Weather will clear shortly. Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination.
Так, что у меня-то? Далеко? Квест. Ну, вообще-то лучше вертолет вызвать.
Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter requested.
Походу там, где приземлился, тут и улетлю. Я в этот раз возьму флотон, наверное.
Arrived at mother base.
А с другой стороны, зачем? Внимание привлечет. Так, я отойду.
Extraction arrived at mother base. Caution, rain approaching.
Вот тут шел. Голод прихватил.
Please select a land heading to Afghanistan. Deploying. Extraction arrived at mother base. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Да, блять! Попади ты уже.
Flag should be around there somewhere.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Clouds approaching.
Давай допрашивать.
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
The map has been updated.
Talk. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Speak. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated. Development complete.
Where are your friends? Spit it out. Spit it out.
The map has been updated.
Talk.
The map has been updated.
Talk.
Guard post captured.
Talk.
Where are the others?
The map has been updated.
Ну, скорее всего, ничего не знаю.
Mother base.
Она тут по своей воле, ее никто не похищал.
Speak.
Where are your friends?
Либо они вообще не курсе.
Speak.
Marker placed. Marker placed. Marker placed. Marker placed. Extraction arrived at Mother base. You have arrived at your destination. You have arrived at your destination. Extraction arrived at Mother base. You have arrived at your destination.
Забрать-то надо, но, скорее всего, миссия проебется.
Extraction arrived at Mother base.
А, ну это же... Это побочка. Ничего с ней не будет.
You have arrived at your destination. Extraction arrived at Mother base. You have arrived at your destination. You have arrived.
Quiet is it there? Guess you've been moved somewhere? You see any intel files lying around?
Intel file obtained. Extraction arrived at Mother base.
Понятно.
Boss, we've gone over the prisoner transport log you found. Quiet was grabbed by the Soviets and moved to Lamar Khatte Palace. She's being held at Lamar Khatte Palace. Make your way there. They lost a lot of men to her. Can't blame them for wanting payback. But why did she just let herself get captured?
I think it is time you knew. Quiet was carrying vocal cord parasites. The English strain, to be precise.
The third English pair.
Skullface was using her as a vector, an ace in the hole if his assassination plan failed.
I knew it.
But Quiet chose not to speak. Be careful down there, boss. The situation in Navajo, the only language to which the parasites do not react. If you found out, she could not remain among you. And yet, she refused the Wolbachia treatment. Why? Because part of her still wanted revenge. Against you.
Revenge against the boss. In order to stay here, she took a vow of eternal silence. But then, that sudden mutation showed this was not enough. As long as the parasites were inside her, she could not predict what might happen.
And that's why she took off, sacrificing herself to make sure the English strain died with her?
Maybe. Or maybe she only wants to infect the world. Whatever her plan, we can't let her go free. The vocal cord parasites are the last of Skullface's legacy. It's up to us to erase it. Boss, the targets are quiet and the English strain she's carrying. Your objective is to extract her. But if worst comes to worst, she may have to be eliminated. Both her and the parasites.
We don't know for sure what Quiet's up to, but we need to secure her ASAP. She's being held at Lamar Hate Palace. Make your way there.
Саму пропустил. А машину мне не дали.
Boss, we've located Quiet in Afghanistan. She's been captured by the Soviets and taken to Lamar Hate Palace. Why did she leave Mother Base and return to Afghanistan? And why hand herself over to the Soviets? I just can't imagine what she was thinking. Right after her recent actions finally earned her more fans around here too. Boss, you need to go and get her out. You're not just gonna leave her in their hands, are you?
Там никого нет.
The map has been updated.
Действительно, как они ее в плен взяли? Потому что они чем-то ее отравили. Я он некрофил. Я все думал, откуда этот трек.
The map has been extraction.
You're surrounded. There's no escape. Hugh and Quiet will have to take him out.
Mission
В
info.
принципе, я всяко могу попробовать уничтожить без применения силы. Это мощный танк.
Quiet's able to fight. She's back to her old self. Where are you going? Stay with Quiet. She's ready to fight. There they come.
Хуя миссия. Я-то думал, 2 танка всего. Тут, короче, прям конкретное выживание. Давай, поехали.
Snake?
You're surrounded. There's no escape. You and Quiet will have to take him out.
Mission info updated.
Quiet's able to fight. She's back to her old self.
Please select supplies requested. Supply drop complete. You have arrived at your destination.
Да, надо было по-боевому одеваться. А не то, что я тут одел. Так, я надеюсь, с пехотой-то она поможет мне.
Reinforcements. There they come. Quiet's using herself as a decoy. Draw the enemy away from you. Boss, if you're gonna protect Quiet, you'll need to attract the enemy to you.
Complete.
Где враги-то?
Enemy to your left.
Прячься, блядь!
Please select a strike point.
Я хз, давай сюда.
Strike will commence shortly. Enemy presence detected.
Enemy dead ahead. Don't let them get close. There's more of them. Are you ready? If you have minds, boss, now's the time to plan them. Try to predict the enemy's route.
Clear shortly. Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Какие мины? Я ничего с собой не брал.
Enemy in front. Take him out.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Hold up, boss. We need to secure the area first. Enemy inbound from the left.
Так, нет, короче, меняем.
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
Меняем снаряжение. Это вообще не пойдет. Еще бы знать маршруты, где они пойдут. Ну, на дороге точно выставить надо.
Damn, there's more of them. Are you ready?
Ладно.
Enemy dead ahead. Don't let them get close.
Weather will clear shortly.
Нельзя выйти из этого меню. Лучше как хочешь, так и, блядь. Давай, в комплект нахуй.
Enemy in front. Take him out.
Please select supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Enemy to your left.
Да, блядь, куда ты стреляешь?
Hold up, boss. Secure the area first. Get to cover and watch the enemy. You see a chance, take it. The enemy's close. Wait for the right moment and get back.
Туда бы сервал пригодился. Там много чего пригодилось. А где мой? Попал, что ли? Да как так?
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
Снайпера пришли.
Damn, there's more of them. Are you ready? You have enough ammo. Now is your chance to stock up. Give the order from your iDroid.
Here shortly.
Enemy dead ahead. Don't let them get close.
Please select supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Enemy in front. Take them out.
Please select a strike point. Analysis complete. Please select a strike
Да в
point.
смысле, почему я не могу выметить?
Strike
Enemy
requested.
to your left.
Strike will commence shortly. Enemy
Hold
present.
up, boss. We need to secure the area first.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Get to cover and watch the enemy. You see a chance, take it. They're coming.
Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
The enemy's almost finished. You can do this, boss.
Сука, минометчики, что ли?
Enemy presence detected. Has been updated.
Да как так-то, блять?
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
Ну откуда?
Damn, there's more of them. Are you ready? If you have mines, boss, now's the time to plant them. Try to predict the enemy's route.
All clear. Supplies
Enemy
requested.
dead ahead. Don't let them get close.
Supply drop complete.
Enemy in front. Take them out.
Please select a strike point. Strike requested. Enemy presence detected. The map has been. Strike will commence shortly.
Hold up, boss. You need to secure the area first.
Enemy
Enemy to
presence.
your left.
The map has been updated.
There's more coming.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
He's almost finished. You can do this, boss.
Enemy presence detected.
Enemy to your right. Airborne enemy approaching. Look out!
Сука, какой он юркий. Лови, сука, маслину.
Please select a drop supplies.
Outside reinforcements. Almost done.
Supply drop complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has please select a strike requested. Strike will commence shortly. Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated.
Блять, неудачное место. Нихуя не видно.
Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated.
Самая пиздатая миссия.
Map has been updated.
Откуда нахуй стреляешь?
Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated. Please select strike point.
Не знаю, где он там.
Strike will commence shortly.
Ну, конечно. Танк не заметили. Это пиздец.
quiet.
Печень отбила нахуй. Ну, нас заживет.
We're gonna have company. No water, no sun.
Черепа.
Don't you dry up on me.
Хотя что им тут делать?
Do you copy? Boss, do you know where the landing zone is? Head for the LZ. Another mechanized unit is approaching your area. Watch out. Don't let them find you. Boss!
Mission info has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
номер, что?
P-Quad, do you read me? This is P-Quad. Ahab, what's your position? We can't stick around any longer. Talk to me, boss.
Lahat ani seda. Sniffo.
Ahab, I can't copy your transmission. Repeat.
Pisho. Mishe. Lahat ani tatsa.
Again, I cannot copy. Can you repeat in English? This is P-Quad. Ahab! Ahab, do you copy? Do you understand English? Hey! Do you copy? We can't stick around any longer. We have zero visibility. We're gonna have to pull back. Cutting transmission.
The boss is with me.
Ahab? Wait, who is this? Identify yourself.
There's no time. Hurry!
Where are you? What is your location?
No, you're moving away from us. Circle back to your 8 o'clock.
Copy that. Guide me to your location.
Proceed to your 10 o'clock.
Understood.
Come back towards your 1 o'clock.
Copy. 1 o'clock.
Shift slightly to your left. Now proceed straight. 1.5 miles. Slide right. A little more. Yes, there you go. 1 more mile. Strong winds approaching. Quick, adjust to your right. Left. A little left. Yes. Now hold your position and proceed straight. Half a mile to go. Pequod, I can see you. I have a visual.
There you are, Ahab. Visual confirmed.
Pequod, hurry! This way.
You're... I didn't know you could be so talkative, quiet.
The boss is here. Hurry, Pequod. Please.
Теперь ей нельзя возвращаться, поэтому она и ушла. Паразиты начали плодиться у нее в горле. Ну, активировались. Б. О, чего ждать, не скоро умер.
Boss! Boss! I gave you an anti-venom.
Where's Quiet?
We've gotta go. Let's go, boys.
Mission info has been updated.
Boss, are you just abandoning quiet?
Caution, you are about to leave the mission area. Caution, you are about to leave the mission area.
Следы проебал. Засыпало, что ли? По идее, направление это одно. Она может куда-то в куст ушла. Не вижу, ни так, ни сяк. Забраться здесь некуда.
Boss, are you just abandoning quiet?
Может, в другую сторону? Но в другую сторону тоже некуда. Так, сейчас получше следы будет видно. Ну, вот здесь взяло и пропало. Нет, вот следы.
I did not choose to be quiet. I wanted to express my feelings to you. If only we shared a common tongue. Vengeance was what drove me to them. The only language left to me, revenge. But the words we shared, no, that was no language at all. That is why I chose the language of gratitude instead and go back to silence. I am quiet. I am the absence of words.
Говорю, в микрофон выключенный. 7 раз миссию для возвращения молчунья буду переходить на следующем стриме. Обычно escape нажимаешь, нету пропустить, сразу проходит. Вероятно, что-то может будет, а может и не будет. Скорее всего, просто титры.
You have the results of quiet scans? Yes, as I suspected. Her entire body underwent parasite therapy. The parasites compensated for her burnt epidermis and provide her blood with oxygen through cutaneous respiration instead of pulmonary respiration. In addition, they replaced the digestive organs she lost, and she receives carbohydrates through photosynthesis. Was Skullface responsible? There is no other possibility. Skullface ordered Quiet to assassinate Snake, only she got set on fire instead when he woke up in that hospital. But then Skullface revived Quiet through his parasite therapy, at the same time infecting her with the English strain. That way, even if the assassination failed again, she could still kill all of us just by coming here.
That was the third English mating pair. Correction. The first and only English pair to be carried by a person.
So either because she wanted to get even with Snake, or because she was working for Skullface, Quiet approached Snake again.
Though in the end, for whatever reason, she did not complete her objective. Some change of heart, perhaps. We won't hear it from her.
Послушаем пару кассет, за Молчунью и все.
Boss, we've gone over the prisoner transport log you found. Quiet was grabbed by the Soviets and moved to Lamar Khatte Palace. They lost a lot of men to her. Can't blame them for wanting payback. But why did she just let herself get captured?
Это мы слушали на брифинге.
I think it is time you knew. Quiet was carrying vocal cord parasites. The English strain, to be precise. The third English pair. Skullface was using her as a vector. An ace in the hole if his assassination plan failed. I knew it. But Quiet chose not to speak. She told me the situation in Dene, Navajo, the only language to which the parasites do not react. If you found out, she could not remain among you. And yet, she refused the Wolbachia treatment. Why? Because part of her still wanted revenge. Against you.
Revenge against the boss?
In order to stay here, she took a vow of eternal silence. But then, that sudden mutation showed this was not enough. As long as the parasites were inside her, she could not predict what might happen.
And that's why she took off? Sacrificing herself to make sure the English strain died with her?
Maybe. Or maybe she only wants to infect the world. Whatever her plan, we can't let her go free. The vocal cord parasites are the last of Skullface's legacy. It's up to us to erase it. Boss, the targets are Quiet and the English strain she's carrying. Your objective is to extract her. But if worst comes to worst, she may have to be eliminated. Both her and the parasites.
We don't know for sure what Quiet's up to, but we need to secure her ASAP. She's being held at Lamar Khatte Palace. Make your way there.
I did not choose to be quiet. I wanted to express my feelings.
Тоже, наверное, ничего нового.
If only we shared a common tongue. Vengeance was what drove me to them. The only language left to me, revenge. But the words we shared, no, that was no language at all. That is why I chose the language of gratitude instead and go back to silence. I am quiet. I am the absence of words.
Так, ну а потом надо будет...
Please select a mission.
Правда, человек, продавший мир. Кенти Госман, ну да, это... На эту самая последняя миссия будет в моем прохождении. То есть, в последнюю очередь, я закрою им сюжетную арку. Мы там узнаем кое-что. Ну, я уже знаю. Да, в принципе, все, наверное, знают, что босс это не босс, это Веном. Это тот человек, который спас его. Оцелот загипнотизировал его, заставил думать, что он босс. Ну, это там покажет. Так. Я потом буду 11-ю проходить. Без применения огнестрельного оружия. Ну, я знаю, как это сделать. Ладно, все потом. А на этом все. Всем огромное спасибо, кто был на стриме. Приходите еще. Скоро увидимся.